Have you ever had anybody try and rip you off or ask you for more money or that sort of a thing?
No, because I think it's maybe the first two shows, some people might have thought, well, let's see what we can get out of them.
Yeah.
But in the art of negotiation, when I ask you how this should go, and then we agree on a price, and I say, bullet point, your price plus trans plus hotel plus flight, and you'll have a hoagie or whatever. But it's not so much we'll see how the house is and I'll give you an envelope and then see if you like it or not. So
right. Anybody ever no show you?
Not no show. No, we've been lucky that way.
How about with some of your booking plans? Is everybody pretty cool? Like it's just funny because knowing how wrestling is and being kind of a young promoter. But the thing is, you're not bringing in any guys that would really try any of that stuff. Like we mentioned, the aforementioned, the honky tonk bands of the world, that type of thing. Not that he would do that, but those are the types of guys that would. I know from talking with Danny Dugan, who is another local promoter that I spoke with. He had an issue with one of those types of guys who no showed or asked for more money. Like that generation is different. Our generation is not really like that. And then obviously this new generation of guys are probably quite respectful and happy to have a gig.
We had one instance where Effie, he couldn't make it for whatever reason. It wasn't a no-show. It was more like a travel issue. And I found out day of. He was supposed to work with Josh Alexander. I text Josh Alexander and I'm not freaking out, but like, fuck, one of our main events is not happening. He immediately calls up or texts the entire Impact roster on our behalf and tries to find a replacement. He did not have to do that at all. I was just asking, like, what should I do? And he spends the day texting me back and forth. Oh, this guy can't. I'll try this guy. That was so amazing. And then he gets in and we sit down for brunch in the Exchange District. And I'm like, so you're going to be working a local guy and his name's Cheeks. And he's like, huh, all right. Like he was expecting to work like, a top level independent and have this sort of marquee matchup. But it turned into local competitor versus a world champion. The match was fantastic, and I think he had a great time and everything. But we've built that reputation, I believe, with these guys who are really dependable. They're not. I know that story you're talking about with Danny.
Yeah,
and I think it was with a Beefcake.
Yeah, we don't mind calling him. I think it was Beefcake. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to book Brutus, so I'm not worried about it. But you're right. That we don't really work with those older folks. PCO is another one that is very upfront, very congenial and friendly with us, and is willing to go the extra mile to help us out. It's only been really positive.
Yes, funny, and I don't even mind saying this. So I put an offer out to Honky Tonk Man for my cruise, and he didn't respond. And not only did he not respond, he blocked me on Twitter. So I guess he didn't like the offer.
And that Honky Tonks. I've seen him wrestle in front of maybe 30 people before too here.
Yeah, I know. It's like, my point is, when you make an offer to somebody, you expect them to, you want this negotiation process. And like you said, once you do get that negotiation down, both parties should be sticking to that.
Yeah. And I remember the late, great Scott Hall. I sent him an email early on and I could tell he was just texting from like his couch. And he said, just like, what's your offer, bud? And I threw out a number, and now he just sent back no. And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna stop.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, though, for you doing the West End Cultural Center. The idea behind this is to make money, and when you start paying those types of guys, they might not make any difference. You'd be better off, if I don't know, God bless, if it's a Scott Hall and you offer him $2,500 to show up, you might be better off to ask Kenny if he's in town, give him the $2,500 to show up. You probably draw an extra 500 people, whereas the Scott Hall would draw 50. I mean, who knows, right?
We kind of like our Cold Out poster didn't have a single wrestler on it. It didn't even have a wrestling ring on it. And it sold out in 3-4 hours. So we kind of battle. You want to have the best card possible so people don't leave going like, what did I just spend $25, $30 on? But it doesn't have to be top loaded with those, call them legends or big names. And I really believe that a lot of the people that the fans are seeing will be on AEW one day. Some of them were on AEW Dark at the Winnipeg a couple of days ago. Yeah. I believe that they will be in WWE one day. And you can say, like, I was at that show Just the same way people were at Georgie's and saw you, and still to this day say, I was at Georgie's and I saw Chris when he was 19.
Yeah.
Thing. So that's really what we're hinging on, the next generation.
It's smart too, because you want to build around the promotion. You want people to know that whenever WPW's has a show, it's going to be a great show no matter who's on it. That's how you sell out. I mean, right now I was talking with our promoter about Forbidden Door. I think we're at 10,000 tickets sold already, and we went on sale 5 hours ago. And there's no name. It's AEW, it's New Japan, it's Forbidden Door. WrestleMania, they're selling 50,000 tickets before there's a match announced. That's kind of the vibe that you want to get for WPW on a much more local level. But still, dude, a sellout is a sellout. You cannot underestimate that no matter what.
It's a very nice feeling when that hits and we don't have to do the stiff promotion, the everyday thing. I can just focus on the storytelling aspect, the booking. Like I'm thinking about Top Flight. They're in AEW right now. They had a different name and they were under masks when they wrestled for us at the Sherbrooke Inn in front of 300 people.
That's great.
But I know people were sitting at the MTS Center there thinking like, wow, these guys were here in front of nobody, and now they're on one of the biggest stages of them all. So it's a nice feeling for the fans too.
Yeah, some people will say that they were there and we're able to see them. Which show were they on?
I think they were on Don't Be a Menace. And Pain Actually Won. So yeah.
I'm just trying to find what their name was back then.
They were the Flip Bros.
That's it. Airwolf and Angel Dorado. That's it.
And yeah, so very different monikers and gimmicks, but the same athleticism. And Airwolf was someone that we saw early on in bars flipping off the bar. And it's like, we got to book that guy. And he did the drive too.
Airwolf was Daunte, right? Or was it Darius?
I think that's Darius.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like you said, the Minneapolis guys, though, probably drove up to Winnipeg, and there you go.